There is nothing like the smell and flavor of a nutty, buttery ghee. But you know, if you've made it on the stove, you walk away for 1 second and that nuttiness becomes burntness, just like that. Let's take that out of the equation. Welcome to the Salted Pepper, where we cook for real life using real food and we keep it real simple. Today we are gonna make foolproof ghee. That is right, foolproof. And guess who's the biggest fool? Me. Because I can't make ghee on the stove. I was successful once. I've tried 10 times. And guess what happens? Each and every time I'm so patient and it's browning and it's browning and it's browning. And then I get distracted and I walk away. And that nutty deliciousness turns to burnt grossness, just like that. And I've just ruined a pound of butter, which that's no fun. So I thought, I'm not gonna buy ghee anymore. I'm gonna figure out a foolproof for this fool how to make it. And I did, and it's amazing. And you're not gonna believe how easy it is. And all you need is a slow cooker. Now, the slow cooker that I'm using is the Ninja Foodi pressure cooker and air crisper on the slow cook function. But any crock pot or any slow cooker brand, it doesn't matter as long as it has the ceramic insert and not the metal one. So, Instant Pot friends who want to use this recipe in their Instant Pot, I have not tested it with the stainless insert, the inner pot, okay? So if you have a ceramic inner pot, use that. If you only have the stainless, I would still try the recipe, but I would not do it overnight. I would do it during the day so you can keep an eye on things, because I have a feeling that it's going to go a little bit quicker for you, okay? So maybe 6 hours, because we're gonna do a total of 8 hours. All right, so let's jump into it because it's super easy. You won't even believe it. The ingredient that you want for ghee is 1 pound of unsalted butter. Can you use salted butter? Absolutely. Your ghee is going to be a little salty then. The reason why I usually use unsalted butter is so that you can control the amount of salt, like in your breads and things like that, that you would put your ghee on. Or if you're using it in another type of recipe, you can add salt to it. I've made ghee with salted butter before, and to be honest with you, I was not a fan, and I love using salted butter. Almost all my recipes call for salted butter. But in the ghee, it became too concentrated and it was honestly a little salty. So I really recommend getting unsalted butter for this. Whether you use just regular plain old US butter or fancier European butter, that is completely up to you. I thought it turned out amazing just using Walmart brand unsalted butter. You want about 1 pound. If you aren't sure if you like ghee, or you're not sure if you really want to commit, you can do a half of a pound. So that would be 2 sticks. That would be perfectly fine, okay? Which is 2 sticks is 1 cup of butter. But I'm gonna use a whole pound, which is 2 cups of butter. And they can be cold or room temperature. It makes 0 difference because the only thing we're gonna do is dump them in the pot. Just like that. Nothing fancy. Close the lid to your Ninja Foodi or Instant Pot, or put your lid on your slow cooker and then go ahead and turn it on. Make sure you select the slow cook function. If you have multiple functions like I do, high is what you want. You want to set your time for 8 hours and hit start. All right, so 8 hours is what you want. However, do not worry if you put this on like after dinner or something and then you go to sleep and you don't wake up, until 12 hours after you put it on. It's not gonna matter because it's gonna turn over to keep warm. Almost all slow cookers and Ninja Foodis and Instant Pots have that feature. So slow cook for 8 hours and let it go to the keep warm. It is not going to affect a thing. I've left it in there for 15 hours before, still perfect. All right, so we're finished our slow cook. We went for 8 hours, and as you can see, it has switched over to the keep warm. It's been on that for an hour and some odd minutes, 15, 20 minutes or so. That is perfectly fine. Like I said, you don't have to worry about it. If you set it for 8 hours and let it go and keep warm, it's perfectly fine. Let me tell you though how it progressed through the 8 hours so that you can make some determinations on how long you want to set your time for. At 4 hours, it was nicely browned, but it did not have that nutty aroma. At 6 hours, it was just starting to get the nutty aroma. And at 8 hours, it's dark and it's nutty. And you might look at it and say, oh my gosh, I burned it. You did not. You did not. It is perfectly fine. I've done this 4 times now. And the first time I was like, whoops, that was too long. Perfect. Not a bit of burnt taste to it. Okay, so what I usually do if I'm not doing a video is I get a mason jar or another food safe jar that I'm going to keep my ghee in and a little strainer. And I use what's called a flour sack. And I have this one cut because I like to use smaller ones when I do it this way. And then it's just easier because they're really big. And I just line the strainer with it. And then I slowly pour in the ghee. And the milk solids will collect. Periodically, when it's small like this, I will dump them and then keep going. Works beautifully. But because I'm doing a video, I want to show you the volume. I want you to know from 1 pound of butter, this is about what you're going to expect to get as far as volume goes of ghee. So we're going to do it a little differently. Same principle, but I'm just using a measuring cup and a little bit bigger of a strainer. One thing I like about this is when I did the other method on the stovetop, if I managed not to burn it, I thought it was hard to like filter out everything. Like it seemed like I always got something into my ghee, some kind of a particle, but I haven't, not once since I've done it this way. I absolutely love slow cooking the ghee. All right, there we go. Now let it finish doing its thing, dripping all out there. And it looks like we got about 1.5 cups. And look at that color. I know people are freaking out because I just put metal in there. I did it gently. Okay, look at that beautiful color. Look at it. Oh my gosh. So now I'm gonna pour it into the container that I'm gonna keep it in. Okay, I spilled a little, so I'm just gonna wipe that edge off and then put the lid on. And now let me show you what it's gonna look like as it sets up. Now you could use it right away. And let me tell you, this is not just for like brushing on naan bread, okay? You can use it in so many different ways. You can saute vegetables with it, or you know what I find is like one of the most amazing uses is steam your vegetables and just put a little bit of the ghee over top. It takes those vegetables to a whole other level, let me tell you. All right, now, once you have your ghee in a food safe container with a lid, you can leave it on your countertop. You can also refrigerate it, but you can leave it out on the countertop. It stays fine. And let me show you what it's gonna look like even on your counter, unless it's really hot in your house. At room temperature, it is not totally liquid like it is right now. It is going to set up, so it's gonna solidify a little bit, but it is still very soft. It's different from butter. So let me show you here. So see how it's like that, but it's softer than butter. So you could use it in place of butter. I mean, slather it on your toast in the morning, and then you can thank me after you taste it because it's amazing. Oh my goodness. This is like liquid gold to me. I just, now that I've learned how to do it in an easy, hands-off way, you can see, and this is not the only batches I have other batches too. So yes, definitely I'm a ghee fan. Now it's super easy, not quick, but who cares if you don't have to pay attention to it and you don't run the risk of burning it. Enjoy.